I think one thing that you're very passionate about, and I want to be careful and hopefully not offend anybody here, but the weaker side of Christianity, the weaker side of, the masculine side of Christianity. So with that, I want to dive into some of these disciplines, but where is, maybe, the church in like the big, big church in general, Christianity, maybe in general, where are they, fallen short in leading men or providing men with the right type of instruction or the right type of guidance into what it ultimately means to be a man?
Yeah. Wow, that's a huge question. And I don't want to offend anyone, but I'm just going to kind of I just call it how it
No,
is
just
as
yeah,
far as
just
I
shoot it.
see
Just
it.
shoot it how it is. Yeah.
I think generally Christian men are pathetic. I think that the imagery that the world sees of a Christian man is overweight, bored, goes to church, doesn't lead at home, you know. It kind of fits the, I'm just going to be I don't know how open I can be in this, but
No, just
it
let it
all
rip.
right.
Let it rip, please.
The persona is, that the guy has his balls in a jar on the kitchen counter, and he gets to go ask his wife when he can go out and play. It's kind of like that whole persona, that's very bold for me to say, but that's unfortunately what I've seen. But that's part of the fuel that helps me to kind of break that stereotype, because that stereotype's real and it's earned. It's not a false stereotype. It's earned. It's been earned from decades of overeating, mistreating, men being passive in the church. I'm not talking about people outside the church. I'm talking about in the church. Men should be the most loving, caring, fit, models of marriage, models of fatherhood, models of service when they are followers of Jesus in the local church. And sadly, I just haven't seen that. I haven't seen that. And I don't think guys have had permission to do that. I just simply don't. So is it all those guys' fault? I don't think so. I think it's systemic. I think it's gone back generations, that, just generations of men and pastors not knowing what to do. The people always basically blame it on the feminist movement. I think it goes way before the 70s and the uprising and the feminist movement. If you track in church history, you can go back even a couple, 150 years of the Churching of America. Rodney Stark wrote a really interesting book talking about the Churching of America. And it's kind of a heady book, just so you know. But it's just a really interesting look at what happened and how clergy changed through that time. And then also there was some things that were happening there in the Church of America. Fast forward 100 or so years. Again, don't at me on these dates. It's give or take some time. But then if you look at the muscular Christianity movement that happened late 1800s, early 1900s, of which Teddy Roosevelt was a proponent of, and it was this recall from what had happened because of the Industrial Revolution, that men went to work and they were abdicating responsibilities at home and they were giving it to their wives, and that then fed into the church, and then not taking care of themselves, and this whole resurgence of muscular Christianity came around. But as you can imagine, then it also got a bad persona, and I'm sure it was well earned in some ways. But and then there was some pressure there, so then men no longer had the ability to have big faith and big biceps. Instead, it was just men had that was okay to have little faith and big bellies.